Hello everyone, my name is Austin Schaefer. Today I'll be giving you a rundown of our project for this semester, which is QuestGen. So first off, QuestGen, what is it? It's a video game quest generator. We found an interesting technique for generating small 4 to 5 sentence quests in a game similar to Among Us that we use to demo our system. We essentially are using a grammar to generate the structure of the quest and then using GPT-2 to extend it into a larger passage. Our original goal was to make a toolkit that any developer could use and would be very easy to spin into existing game engines. But we found that finding a general purpose way to do this is pretty challenging, and there's really no way to do that without sacrificing the control that game developers will want. So instead, we're kind of documenting the approach we used and trying to summarize the lessons we learned to save time and help others that are going down the same path. So as an example, we use a procedural system that comes up with a number of what we're calling prompts, which are essentially the first part of a vague sentence. GPT-2 is very good at generating believable stories, but they require a good bit of training data, and that data is just not available for game quests. So instead what we're doing is we're using GPT-2 for its other useful purpose, which is auto-completing things. And so we are auto-completing the prompts to extend them into a full passage. So in this case, the prompts that the game engine comes up with are the spaceship needs, you replace the broken component, need to pay, swipe the credit card. And in our game that we use to demo this, the last prompt, swiping the credit card, is the action that the player needs to perform. So we can see we go from generated prompts to patching through GPT-2, and we end up with a generated quest that is much longer and much more random with a lot more variation than our initial prompts experienced. And we find that this achieves a pretty good quality for the generated quests. Yes, obviously there are outliers. Some of them are amazing, some of them are bad, but the average is actually pretty believable and pretty interesting. And we think it could use actual real world use in a larger game than the demo we made. As an example, here is just a quick snapshot of what our game looked like. You can see in the green section in the middle another example quest. This was one of the higher quality ones. And you can see that you can't really tell where the prompts are and where the prompts end and where the generated text begins. For simplicity, we always make sure that the last sentence is explicitly what the user is supposed to do, hence why the last sentence of make a splint is so terse and so to the point. So we found out a couple interesting things, which I'd like to summarize here. The first is that there is definitely a real need for a corpus of video game quests text. That would have been hugely useful for us doing this. It'll probably be hugely useful for others doing other types of text generation for quests. We know that you can train on other existing bodies of text, such as a corpus of sci-fi text or a corpus of fantasy text. But having a lot of quests of that format would be really useful and would really help with the language generational models of stuff like GPT-2 and using it to generate real variable quests. But we did find that our autocomplete strategy of using trace or using some procedural system to create a skeleton of prompts and then expanding with GPT-2, we find that that strategy actually works pretty well. And we'll have a demo of the actual game here in a second to show you. But the nice thing is that even though there isn't a corpus of text to fall back on for fine tuning, what we did actually ends up going pretty smoothly. The downside is that GPT-2 is extremely memory hungry and is very difficult to find a good way to run, very difficult to find a performant and cheap way to run. And so the end result is that it's probably more trouble than most developers would find it worth it. Unless you have incredible resources or access to some API that somebody else is running, the odds are you probably want to go for a smaller and more efficient generational strategy than this. So now we'll run through the game and how it works, and just a quick demo of what we've made so far.
Hey guys, so our game is called QuestGen, and as the name suggests, you have to complete a quest to win the game. So the environment in which you play is that you are a crewmate on a spaceship, and you will be assigned a task, and you have to do that task to win the game. So the game's basic premise has been inspired by the game called Among Us. And the first task that you can see is one of your crewmates has the flu, and your first priority is to get through it. So you are talking about your blood work, your body. They have a feverish devotion to the idea of the Halo, and in the past, these teams have become known to play the Halo style with just a few variation, administer a flu shot to the infected crewmate. So the first thing that I can guess from the task is that I have to give a flu shot to one of the crewmates. The starting place in which we play will be the cafeteria. So you have to move around all the places that you can explore in the spaceship. So since we have to administer a flu shot, I like to go to medical because that looks like the most logical one. So we'll go to medical. Now, when you have moved into medical, you can do all these actions. So among this, I think we have the, like a straightforward answer, which is give flu shot. So we are gonna give the flu shot, and bingo, we have won the game. It's a very basic game, and I mean, you all can go around and play with it, and it's really fun. I think Austin has already explained you how the whole system works and how the tasks are actually generated. So yeah, thank you.